The November 2020 Amiibo tier list is out. The URL for that is up there. We're not going to have it on screen, partially to save on processor space, because as it turns out, you can actually hear the computer in the microphone. And of course, I have it right here. Yes, that's my phone case. I've only had this for a few months. It's not great. So go to that website. It's amiibodoctor.com/tier list. I have updated the page. Sorry for the community post the other day where I said, look, the tier list is updated, and it wasn't updated. It is now updated. This is the official November 2020 tier list. Now, last go around, we went with S through B tier, right? So if you haven't seen that tier list, it's for a different one, but there's not a lot of changes. So we're not going to cover everything that we covered last time. We're just going to cover relevant stuff. We'll cover some stuff from S through B, and then we'll go back down C plus and down like we were going to do before. Okay. Really, just going off memory here, I don't think anybody has left or joined S through A tier. I still see the same 6 in A+, the same 4 in A, Bowser and Sidor in S. No big deal. I will say this did just come out, and we've been finding a lot of AI changes recently, as evidenced by all the videos on AI changes that we found recently. No big deal, right? I am curious to see. So Link is like 5th. He's what, 7th on the tier list, right? He did have that boomerang dash attack crap just thrown in, and that's kind of new. So not sure how to go about that. I have yet to lab this out. A commenter informed me that their Incineroar has started using Revenge properly, which is interesting. I need to lab it out, but like I said, going on hiatus. So yeah. Otherwise, screw S through A tier. We'll talk about Joker and Hero Amiibo as well. We should get to that. So, the Hero Amiibo, I have put him in A tier minimum, A plus tier possibly. I don't think he's quite A plus tier yet, but he's A tier, I would say. In this, he's put 3 from the top in B plus, right between Ganondorf and Snake, and given the small amount of time we've had, like a month and a half now? Given the small amount of time we've had to get results on Hero, I understand the caution. I think over time, we're going to find that, yeah, he's A tier. As training methods improve and as we start to settle on like what the optimal play style is, then we'll get down to where he's in A tier. But for right now, okay, top of B plus, A tier, not much difference. A little bit of difference, but not much, right? Fair enough. I would say he is about as good as Snake. So, oh, shit. So that's not unreasonable. That's not a thoroughly unreasonable placement. Looking at this, I also see that Mii Brawler is at the bottom of B plus. I'd have to look at the brackets, but I'm going to take a guess and say Fami has something to do with that. That doesn't surprise me. Mii Brawler is one of the great success stories of Amiibo. His character is not really cohesive, and it doesn't really fit well within Amiibo, right? He hits really well, but like the AI is just kind of scatterbrained, and it comes out slowly, generally. Like his forward smash especially comes out really slowly. So you have to really play around a lot with what you have to play around with. And whenever you're labbing out an Amiibo and whenever you're screwing around with an underdog, that's kind of what you have to do, right? You have to look at them and say, okay, what do I have here that I can make the most of, basically? Maybe it's an AI bonus, right? Maybe it's just a good move, something along those lines. Like Bayonetta, for example, doesn't have that great of moves, but she has large smash attacks and she has ladder combo now. So if you were going to train Bayonetta, you wouldn't train her to be doing a lot of up tilt, which I did prior to getting ladder combo, which was not a good idea. But I didn't know that at the time, and it wasn't in the AI yet. So, but no, Mii Brawler is one of the great success stories of Amiibo. As a character, I think he has a lot of potential. But I'd say bottom of B plus, probably about the peak for him. Short of probably behavior editing, I can't see much more for Mii Brawler. So I will say, funny little side note, Ike and Chrom are right next to each other in B plus tier, which is ironic. They both have very different movesets, but they have the same up special. And up special out of shield is great for both of them, so fair enough. B tier, Wario's still sitting at the top of B tier, fair enough. Mega Man's still sitting at the bottom. Was Mega Man he was at top of C plus before, wasn't he? I was looking for the September tier list on my computer, and apparently I forgot to actually download it. I had it up on the website and never downloaded it to my computer. This feels too high for Mega Man, I'll admit. I don't know. Top of C plus makes more sense. Actually, you know what? I think we covered him in the last video, so he probably wasn't in C plus. I'm interested in Pokemon Trainer being B tier. I would say that that's about right now. Trainer needs a lot of love. He needs a lot more love than what he's got. And I know a lot of people have tried, right? But I don't know of anybody who's really gotten serious with Pokemon Trainer. I mean, I had the second best trainer, because I had one. There was like somebody won a tournament with Trainer one day, and then I won one the next day. It was like back in June. Was that June of last year? Holy cow, that was June of last year. Damn. That's been a while. No, but I kind of, I don't know. We need to experiment with Trainer a lot more. Side special is great, don't get me wrong. But I think the character has a lot of growth. You know, I'll probably have to start labbing him out again. I'm interested to see Yoshi in B tier. I've never really paid much attention to Yoshi in the Amiibo meta before. It's, how do I put this? I have no doubt that somebody somewhere has figured out a good Yoshi Amiibo. Okay. However, I've never seen it. At least not recently. There was one at the start of the meta, if I remember correctly, but otherwise I haven't seen it. It makes sense that Yoshi would be good. He's got the up air, which is a murder on a stick, back air, down air, great multi-hits, murder on a stick. I imagine Egg would be an interesting projectile to put in. I don't know quite how that would work. And neutral special even could be a useful command grab. Excuse me, sorry. I have trail mix to keep my blood sugar up. Don't fall asleep. I'm not even diabetic and I have to do that. It's really annoying. Pac-Man in B. God, I hate Pac-Man. I think that's too much for Pac-Man, actually. I know somebody recently probably did well with Pac-Man, and so that's why we're putting him in higher, and that's kind of the cycle of, oh, well, so-and-so did well in a couple of tournaments with this character. He must be higher on the tier list than we thought. And then over time, he goes back down. Probably happening to Pac-Man right now. It's whatever. I think eventually, in the long run, in the 20XX meta, Pac-Man will end up like bottom of C+, honestly. I think not because he's going to get worse, but because other Amiibo are going to surpass him. Robin being in bottom of B is interesting. Robin's gotten some AI changes. If I understand, I think it was Simply Robin who told me, if I understand what Simply Robin told me, you can get him to use different variants of neutral special now. You just have to be consistent about it. So there's like the big Thoron, and that shoots like all the way down through the stage, versus like the big X one that's like the stage right before it, that sort of thing. You can get him to use those now, post 9.0. I doubt that that's been worked into the tier placement. It's whatever. Okay, C+ tier. We're just going to go down the list here. Duck Hunt. As a playstyle, Duck Hunt is generally best musket method, from what I understand. You kind of have to treat him the same way you do the Belmonts. He's a projectile character, so go melee only. Forward smash is a multi-hit. It's a great multi-hit. Tracks with the opponent. KOs fairly well. Land a couple of them, they're dead, right? I can easily imagine Duck Hunt's musket method training being a hard counter against other ground-based playstyles that can't outrange him on the ground. Probably not against like Me Gunner or Incineroar, right? But against, say, Little Mac, against Mega Man. Let me eat more, because, yeesh, I'm still crashing. It's only 2 p.m. Against possibly Hero, depending on how aerial you train him. Maybe even Ganondorf. Basically, Duck Hunt is probably one of the only amiibo that I would say counters his opponent based on their play style as opposed to their moveset. Being a ground-based counter is incredibly valuable. Oh, by the way, me Sword Fighter. Totally forgot me Sword Fighter. Given the level of potential we've realized with him right now, it's like, okay, whatever. He's top of B. I would say B+. Give it some more labbing. We're going to figure out good me Sword Fighters. I would say B+. Go for it. But no, Duck Hunt is probably going to be a playstyle counter. You know what I mean? So, Palutena is interesting to me. Palutena, she's big. She's really big. You know what I mean? She's got the smash attacks to do the job at a high level. She's got the aerial juggling ability to do the job at a high level, especially with up air, up smash, right? She's got an okay recovery. I've always had problems getting her to recover with up special when you play as a character, right? I'm not sure why Palutena is so low, except for maybe a lack of representation. But I've also never heard of a great Palutena, so it's not unreasonable. I think she can go higher. It's going to take... Actually, now that I think about it, I think there was one in Sewell a while back. Somebody have to fill me in on that one. Marth. So, Marth is interesting because Marth is top of C and Lucina is middle of B, right? It's amazing what that little hitbox makes, or what a difference that little hitbox makes. Marth, as an amiibo, is kind of doomed to forever go up or down on the tier list, right? He's an inconsistent character. And he's not inconsistent because of the AI, because it's a copy of Lucina's AI. Actually, Lucina's a copy of Marth AI. No, he's inconsistent because of his tippers. Sometimes he'll get really lucky and just kill you right off the bat. Bada bing, bada boom, right? Other times, not so much. So he has an okay recovery. Now, I will say, and this is just caveat, Nintendo has started fixing small issues with Amiibo. If they ever put counters into Amiibo AI, like actually being able to use counters, the entire tier list needs to be rewritten from scratch. Because, holy cow, like if Amiibo are able to counter moves, they're frame perfect opponents already, so the whole thing would need to be rewritten from scratch. And Marth would benefit from that tremendously. So, no, Marth's interesting. He has really no multi-hits. Not a great juggle ability. Good recovery, good power, but not great power. C+ is about right. I do think both he and Lucina can do better in the long run, but there's not enough trainers and there's too many characters, and like, how do you put full effort into one? It's not everybody can train 300, 400 of one character. So Ryu, oh lordy, okay. I knew this at the start of the meta, and it's still true. If Nintendo ever fixes Ryu's pre-programmed combos and basically gives it the Joker treatment, he will go up on the list. He's got power, not a great recovery, a decent horizontal and a decent vertical, but not, I don't know what I'm saying. He's got some juggle ability. C+ isn't unreasonable for Ryu. He could be higher. but I highly doubt, given that he has both the facing his opponent at all times character gimmick and the weird Shoto crap, I highly doubt he would ever really be very useful. I'd like to see him be useful in Amiibo. I would love to see a good Ryu, or great Ryu, rather. And I don't mean a great Ryu in relation to other Ryus. I mean a great Amiibo that is a Ryu. I don't think we're going to get there for a long time. His play style is definitely going to need to be figured out, though. That's going to be difficult. Mario. Oh, God, somebody's going to have an opinion on this. Oh, if there's one thing that bugs me, it's when I say something and somebody has a weird opinion on it. I get those messages all. Well, so-and-so had a good Mario back in 1999. That's the best Mario amiibo ever, or some shit like that. I'm like, okay, thank you. I know Jaws and Kate and Lisa have really been trying Mario, so shout-outs to them. They did the Mario guide a few weeks ago. Mario is like... He's all over the place. I hate the Mario amiibo. I do. I hate it. I love him, but I hate him. And the reason I love him, the reason I hate him, is because he's so... You know that guy, that really skinny guy that runs in the friend group and doesn't like directly hit on the girls, but he kind of hints that he'd like to take them out, but he's also really indecisive and is never quite sure what he's into or which way he wants to go? That's Mario as an amiibo. He's indecisive, he's weak-willed, he doesn't have enough power behind him, and he's not committed to anything. Okay? You just want to kick those guys in the teeth, because, like, dude, live your life, or just live a life, just make it yours, you know? Own it, and he doesn't. Mario is like that, okay? He's got the weird AI shit with up throw to down air, which basically means for the love of God, don't teach him throws, even though back throw's a great KO move, and for the love of God, don't teach him down air, right? But down air is also a multi-hit, so some trainers, down air is great. I don't know about that. He can do up air juggling into up special, right? But that doesn't usually kill. He has some KO power. I mean, he's got to really outplay the opponent to be any good, like at all. You know, like the type of guy that I described earlier, he outplays the other men that he competes for women with by getting a lot of money, right? Mario needs to get a lot of money. He needs to change his play style. Otherwise, like, yeah. I would say tops Mario could be B tier. Although, I mean, B tier would probably be one of the most swollen amiibo tiers ever. Tops B tier. There's a lot that can be labbed out. But, like, honestly, short of an AI fix, I think this is as high as he goes right now. Samus, Dark Samus. Samus is weird. Samus is generally melee only, but I would need to do this on my own and see, but I'm going to say this, even though somebody's going to have an opinion on it. Samus using a super missile periodically might not be the worst thing in the world. Bomb, yes. Charge shot, definitely yes. Unless they fix that part of the AI to where she can actually use it and unlock her best KO move. All she's got is missile. Basically, you would be gunner missile 0.5, right? Stand at the edge and missile, and then when they get close, do up tilt or some crap like that. I don't know. Samus could definitely use some labbing. Yeah, I know she's light. Is she light? She was light in the earlier Smash games. That much I remember. I know she's fairly light. She's kind of lacking in aerial KO power. She's got back air, but when was the last time you landed Samus's back air? She's kind of lacking in KO power in general because her playstyle revolves around landing charge shot, which she can't use. So I don't argue with C+. I would almost say it could go lower. It could go down to C, but Dark Samus is functionally the same as Samus, have had some good tournament results here and there over the months. So we know that they can do well. I had one that did pretty well, actually. But for right now, Falco. I am genuinely surprised to see Falco this low on this list. I really am. I mean that. Falco just got major AI buffs in 8.0. And I know a couple of people labbed it out, but nobody really realized the full potential. Now, the Japanese have Falco in A+ tier, but they're also shield-based. Also, I don't think they put out a new tier list in a long time, so... Point is, Falco has tremendous potential. Falco could really wipe the floor with Amiibo. I don't know why he's so low. I understand he's probably doesn't have any results, because we've been... 8.0 didn't happen that long ago. And 9.0 really didn't happen that long ago. I mean, when did 8.0 happen? What did we get? Min Min, right? Was that June or July? It was like July to October or something like that. It was like 3 months for AI labbing. Now imagine you give, like, let's say 40, 50 people who regularly lab out Amiibo. Imagine you give them, people who have jobs, like grown-ass people with jobs, and Kangoni. Imagine that you say, okay, here's 80 Amiibo, lab out all of them, and figure out all their AI, and then conduct a new tier list. Like, you're going to miss some stuff. I think Falco is one of the things that was missed. He may not have results, but I think that's just because he was missed. Isabelle. Why? I hate watching Isabelle play. Isabelle has one of the few side special command grabs in Amiibo, which generally makes it a great move. She has Fishing Rod, and she will rod you to death. The problem is that Rod can be shielded, so it's actually not that useful. Isabelle's entire playstyle basically revolves around that. Rod gets nerfed, Isabelle gets nerfed. Who was it? It was Hidari, right? There were a couple of people who were trying to figure out Isabelle a while back, and they had some pretty damn good headway. I think what we've done with Isabelle thus far, and many of the other lower tiers, by the way, is far from the possible optimal Isabelle Amiibo. I think if Amiibo 20XX is up here, with Isabelle, we're at like Amiibo 4XX. You know, we've got all of this to go with many of these low tiers that I think there's actually a lot that can be done. The difficulty is training them to get them there. Okay, Greninja. Kind of surprised to see Greninja this low. Dash attack forward air is pretty potent. You can shield it, that's true. You can dodge it, also true. But he's gotten results in Sual, I'll say. Not that recent. I want to say about the start of this year, but he does have results in Sual. You know, frankly, I don't see why he's that low. Put him in B. Like, come on, what are you doing? I've always considered Greninja to be right around Wario's level, give or take. Just because partially because they're Sual stompers, also because I don't know, they just always seem to be about the same skill level, Greninja and Wario. So. Joker. Oh, that's right. I said I was going to do Joker earlier, and then I never did. Whoops. Okay, Joker. God. I'm going to say this. First, let me preface this. I get, not as often anymore, thank God, because I tried to clear it up in a couple of videos, and I think some people listened. I get comments occasionally where people say, Amiibo Doctor, first of all, you're a hunk. Second of all, the Joker Amiibo is S tier, and you're full of crap. And honestly, I'm not even sure I should listen to you, because if you do not accept the basic presupposition that Joker Amiibo is S tier, I don't know how you would ever know anything about Amiibo ever. And whenever I read those comments, I stop for a minute, and I think, the internet's a really stupid place. And then I think, hold on. Nope, Joker Amiibo is definitely not S tier. Joker Amiibo does have space to get labbed out. Not as much space to get labbed out as Hero, because holy cow, Hero has a lot of space to get labbed out, but he does have space to get labbed out. Okay? And if you're not labbing out, if you're labbing out all Hero and not Joker at all, go lab out Joker. Really, go lab out Joker. Go do it. This is probably the most complex Amiibo AI that we have ever had ever. Except for Falco and whatever the hell's going on behind Jigglypuff's eyes. Because that's creepy as hell. Okay? Like, whenever new Amiibo come out, they get a lot of labbing and a lot of love. And Joker got a lot of love. but not a lot of labbing. I would just recommend. I don't necessarily disagree with C+, given his possibilities. I still think he's B tier. Not so sold on B+ tier anymore, but I still think he's B tier. Okay? Go lab out Joker. Go figure out stuff about Joker, because he's got, I mean, I don't know. I did a lot of labbing with Joker, but I'm also not very good at labbing, so whatever. Lucario. Okay. Lucario got down throw forward air built in. Okay? According to Jaws. Have a problem with it? Go talk to Jaws. Lucario's interesting to me. And by interesting, I mean completely bland. I have never wanted to play as Lucario. I never wanted to train a Lucario amiibo. I'll admit, I forgot Lucario existed until he was patched in. Or actually until Jaws wrote the guide. And then 9.0 was patched in. However, as a character, Lucario could do a lot better, especially given the 9.0 stuff. I find it hard to believe that Nintendo would only patch in one pre-programmed combo for Lucario. Instead, it seems more reasonable to me that they have a couple other nuggets hiding around here that we can use to our advantage. Okay? Find them. Find them. Lucario probably has something else. I know he's an inconsistent amiibo, right? He is. He's inconsistent. Okay? Because, like, sometimes he dies at 40 and then he never gets to use Aura. And sometimes he can take 2 stocks at like 100% because of Aura, right? Aura makes him unreliable. So bottom of C+ is a bit low, I would say. But I understand why he's there given his lack of results. I would still put him in B. Or at least top of C+. I mean, come on, he's better than Palutena. We Fit Trainer. Somebody go pat Scuttler on the back and tell him it's going to be okay. Rosalina. Okay, hold on. Dude, hold on. Here's the thing. Hold on. Rosalina is not bottom of C+ tier. She's not. She's middle. Get it right. No, but seriously though, yeah, no, it's kind of about right for Rosalina to be there. I feel like there's more to be labbed out and discovered with this character. Not necessarily AI-wise, just in playstyle-wise. My rudimentary Rosalina, which you can find in that 60-second Amiibo training video, or the other guys, where I did Rosalina stuff, I think encapsulates how to make a decent Rosalina. But now that playstyles have changed, I think Rosalina needs to be updated and evolving. I'll admit I'm kind of like one-track mind as far as it goes to Rosalina, so somebody else is probably going to have to raise a better one. But otherwise, like, I don't know, man. Middle C+ for now. Okay, fair enough, right? I mean, she can do better. Pikachu. Jitters. Pikachu. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. A lot of aerial multi-hits. Okay, KO power. Kind of a combo character. Wouldn't surprise me if Pikachu got something labbed out. Or something patched in 9.0 that needs to be labbed out. For right now, though, I haven't seen like any results. Any results for Pikachu in a while that really knocked me flat on my ass. So he could do better. Don't get me wrong. Pikachu could do way better. He's got a spike. He's got forward air edge guarding. He's got back air things. Like, Pikachu could do okay. I want to say, I know Pichu does. I want to say Pikachu also has up air juggling built in. I don't know. I guess Pikachu bottom of C+ is fair. Okay, Peach and Daisy in C. No. Mm-mm. No. That's just wrong. Just incorrect. Gone. No, put them like top of C plus minimum. I know nobody else has done what Kangoni has done with Peach and Daisy, but that doesn't mean it's also not possible. Okay, if you've ever seen Kangoni's Daisies, first of all, Rosalina as a waifu is better than Daisy every day of the week. Screw you. Second of all, on this channel we don't do waifus because that counts as simping. Thirdly, his daisies are pretty damn good, and I think they demonstrate what's possible with the character. I mean, there was one tournament I did. It's been several months. I think this was last semester, so it's been several months. But he had a daisy that took a set off a K rule in one of my tournaments. I want to say it was a K rule. Yeah, no, like... Dude, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was going to be an ASMR video where we both yawn together. No, I do think Daisy, Peach Daisy, Peasy. I think Peasy is somewhat stage dependent, especially up smash, because a lot of Peasy's up power comes from up smash, and up smash is best through the platform, right? So, yeah, stage dependent. The more stages with platforms that you have, PS2, Unova, Kalos. I guess it doesn't. Does it reach through Kalos? It should reach through Kalos, shouldn't it? The more stages like that you have in your rule set, probably the better they'll do, frankly. They're really, really good when they're under you. If there's one thing that can be said about waifus, is that you want them under you as much as possible. Anyway, Toon Link. God. I have to balance my cheery optimism for how good the amiibo could be with how good the amiibo is. Toon Link... I gotta eat again. What the hell, man? Maybe I need more oxygen. It'll snort some oxygen. There's probably like some businessman somewhere who's like figured that out. Like in China. He's like taking canisters of oxygen, like snorting it. His fucking head explodes. That'd be funny. Okay. Toon Link. Yeah, okay. C tier. Fair enough. I mean, he can do back air into back air, but like, whatever. I think playstyle wise, he can improve, but otherwise, no. Okay, Ken. I hate Ken. I hate him. So what Nintendo did with Ken is basically a different character than Ryu. I don't think anybody really disagrees with that. But they gave him the same amiibo AI as Ryu. They literally copied and pasted over. Well, the problem is, Ryu has certain subroutines that Ken doesn't. Or, I'm sorry, that's not true. They have the same subroutines, but if Ken tries it, they're two completely different moves. So this would be like, you know, with Ganondorf, you can do side special to down tilt, right? Flame choke into... Well, if you're playing as, like, Charizard, that doesn't work. You know? Well, that's the problem Ryu and Ken have, is they have different moves, with different timing, with different hitboxes that don't connect to each other. Well, so poor Ken has an AI that's not even made for him. He's not very smart. Let me pull this up. According to somebody on Amiibo Hospital... Yeah, according to Jaws, I'm going to keep citing Jaws all damn day, Ken reverses his up B in the down tilt up B combo. So, like, the one thing that could possibly go right with Ken, just, nope. This is like giving Ganondorf up tilt spam. It's like, no, he was a great amiibo, and then you just took it away. On the bright side, Ganondorf would be ban-worthy if he didn't have up tilt spam built in. So, but no, like, ugh. Ken, I would almost say Ken deserves to be lower. Every time I say somebody deserves to be lower, I get somebody sending me a DM or something. Well, so-and-so had a good one for a while. And I know that Bacon Bits had a good Ken that actually did fairly well. So in order to avoid somebody saying, well, Bacon Bits had a good Ken for a while, I'm just going to not say that. Villager. Villager is Isabelle without fishing rod. and with Gyroid. And I don't really know what to say about Villager beyond that. I really don't. He's that indecisive. He reminds me a lot of the Mario Amiibo, actually. He's indecisive, skinny, weak, not really going anywhere in life. Just really needs his ass kicked, you know. Just kind of show him who's boss, you know. That's Villager to me. That's what he is to me. So yeah, fine. C tier, fair enough, man. Mewtwo, okay. Oh my god, Mewtwo. All right. I understand why Mewtwo's in C tier. I get it. It's just, you know, I get it. It makes sense. Probably a lack of results if I had to take it. I was not on the voting committee for this, by the way. Mewtwo needs a girlfriend. That was nonsense. I don't know what I just said. Now here's the thing. Mewtwo needs somebody to really try and figure him out, right? If you're wanting to make an impact in the Amiibo meta right now, go to Mewtwo or Lucario, but probably Mewtwo. Side special is a command grab. That's pretty good. Although I don't know if he actually uses it properly. Down special to down special is actually quite a knockbacky move. He's got great spiking with down air, although I think the AI has a tendency to overuse it. Up air, useless. Back air, not horrible. Up tilt, yes, you could juggle with it. Very weak on juggling. He's a glass cannon, right? He's Mewtwo, so he's not going to be the best damn thing in the world. But he's better than C tier. Maybe just C+, but he's better than C tier. One thing that we're seeing over time is that Amiibo are getting better over time. And we'll cover this more at the end of this once we get through D tier. But Amiibo are getting better. So, like, you know, it is kind of like unrealistic to say that, oh, everybody's just C+ tier. But also, like, well, training methods are getting better. Playstyles are getting better. You know, most of my Amiibo, like, sometimes what I'll do, how do I put this? If I think Kang did this a while back because he has a version of Smash that's on 1.0. If I take an Amiibo that I've trained now and I put it in that, it will beat my Amiibo from back then because I have bin files that I haven't touched in like 2 years. Almost. 16 months, 18 months, however long. Because how long? It's almost 2 years that Smash been out. Wow. But no, like, they do improve, you know. I seem to be one of the only people who can dig up bin files, like very old bin files that I have from a long time ago and still win tournaments. My Link, JB Peterson's a great example of this. He was one of the first Amiibo that I trained and still do, well, not win tournaments, but still do really well. Because, like, you know, I just have a really weird training play style. And it's not great. It's never been great, but it's also never been bad. It's like middle of the road, you know. And so as Amiibo do better, do worse, mine is pretty consistent. So Amiibo do get better, and they are getting better overall. The Belmonts are not C tier. Who the hell said they were C tier? Everyone who said that they were anything below B tier is wrong. You're wrong. I know, I'm going to burn some bridges. You're wrong. No. Wrong. God, I'm going to miss that guy. Wrong. No, like, what the hell ever happened to Nozomu's Belmonts? Wasn't it a Richter that he had? Or Simon? I don't remember. Like, did you guys forget that? I know it's been a while, right? But the playstyle is still relevant. Belmonts still do really well. I know, probably lacking representation. That's why we want to grow the scene, right? So we can get more representation. But, no, they're... What do you... Belmonts in C tier. Ugh. Yeah. Belmonts in C tier. What kind of communist bullshit is this? Young Link. Yeah, Young Link C tier. Sonic. Yeah, probably Sonic as well. Meta Knight. Actually, let's go back to Sonic. Sonic is a screwball of an Amiibo. He is. He's a screwball of an Amiibo. He could be horrible. He could be incredible. Most of the time, he'll be horrible. Almost all the time, he'll be horrible. I have seen moments of brilliance from Sonic. So I don't know if the bottom of C tier is necessarily where he belongs. I can't imagine him being better than the Peasies. Maybe top of C tier? Either way, Sonic needs love, but there's also been a lot of love put into Sonic, and he hasn't yielded much. So maybe there's not much left to do with Sonic. Meta Knight. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Before I give an opinion on Meta Knight, I want to say that he should be checked out for AI changes in 9.0. Dreadfather, I know you're listening. And I can say that because if you're not listening, nobody will ever tell you about this. Figure out what Meta Knight's capable of. He can't up air combo. He can't. Not a thing. Oops, darn. The way that you would play human Meta Knight doesn't really apply to Meta Knight Amiibo. But, okay, this is a big but, and I cannot lie. He does have potential. He's got a lot of multi-hits. He's got an incredible recovery. He's light as hell, and it's kind of lacking in KO power, right? Meta Knight needs to figure out what is the optimal Amiibo playstyle. Not what are the optimal Amiibo move behaviors. The behaviors come secondary to the playstyle. With good playstyle, you get optimal move behaviors. He has potential, not results. He doesn't have results. I know he doesn't have results. You guys are all, I can smell it. I can smell the sound of the keyboard. Amiibo Doctor, why would you say that? I'm going to send you a hate message on Discord telling you the Meta Knight has potential. Meta Knight doesn't have results, but he has potential. Don't rule him out just yet. Bowser Jr., I get a lot of hate from people. It's really annoying. I get a lot of hate. Yes. The guy next door asked me to shut up. Bowser Jr., we're going to take this down and turn up the mic volume. There. Bowser Jr. I know Bowser Jr. just got an AI change in 9.0. Okay. I think that is significantly more than enough to never, ever put him in C tier ever again for the love of God. Now, I only heard about the good parts of the AI buff, like being able to use side special to recover and up special hammer. I've not heard about the bad parts, if there are any. So it's possible that Nintendo screwed it up the same way that they screwed up like Cloud's AI change. But, big but, not lying, you other brothers can't deny, he is not bottom of C. Why would you think he's bottom of C? How? No. He's not bottom of C. That's ludicrous and silly. I would put Bowser Jr. at top of C+ right now, right next to Duck Hunt, and far away from Palutena because Palutena is horrible. No, she has potential, but she's not. The reason that I would do that is because he has KO potential. He has better AI, hopefully better AI, unless there's a downside I don't know about. Okay. Why is he in bottom of C? If you voted to put Bowser Jr. in C or lower, I would like, just as a friend, mano y mano, I would like to ask you politely that you smack yourself upside the head, because no. No. Diddy Kong, D+ tier. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Ice Climbers, D+ tier. I have a hard time saying that the Ice Climbers in Game & Watch are worse than Ken and Toon Link and Villager. Icy's in Game & Watch should be higher. Maybe not much higher. Icy's C tier, fair enough. Game & Watch C tier, okay. But they should be higher. The Ice Climbers have incredible juggle ability. There's 2 of them, which automatically makes them twice the tier. No, I'm just kidding. They can KO. They don't have that AI glitch that they had at Patch where they would SD randomly, that I know of. They just need some lovin'. Game & Watch. Game & Watch's playstyle is very, very, very important. Not so much the move usage, but the playstyle. Okay? I understand he has a hard time KOing. I don't think he's D+ tier. Inkling being in D+ tier, fair enough. I can see that. He's gotten some nerfs. Bayonetta D+ tier, bottom of D+. Okay, yeah. If we labbed out the ladder combo and we figured out not that useful, okay. Although we should really show all those against heavies. Or maybe that just didn't make much of a play. Okay, this is where shit really hits the fan. Everybody pay attention, turn the volume up, because I'm going to have to keep quiet because I see the foreign guy standing at the door again. He's not very happy with me right now. We have 6 left in D tier. We have Zero Suit Samus, Rob, Jigglypuff, Fox, Pichu, and Sheik. First of all, Sheik does not belong in D tier anymore. Sheik now has Bouncing Fish. Even if Bouncing Fish is not a massive game changer for her, that is KO power she didn't have before. Sheik needs to be refigured out as an amiibo. I don't think she's worst in the... Maybe she is still D tier. I don't think she's worst in the game. I don't. I would put her maybe alongside Inkling and Bayonetta for right now. But I don't think she's worst in the game. No. Not worse in the game. Zero Suit Samus. Here's a part of the problem that I have with the other 5. I think there's a legitimate argument for each of them to be worst in the game. I do. I think there is. I think there's a very legitimate argument. I think Zero Suit Samus could be argued to be worse in the game because she's light, has difficulty killing, not a great recovery, and she's just generally... her play, even with a great play style, she still suffers, right? Rob, kind of a similar idea, right? Easier time killing, easier time getting killed. He is heavy, he's probably the lowest. I would, of all those other 5, I would say Rob has the most argument to get out of D tier, but maybe up to D+, and that's about it. The things that that an ideal Rob would center his playstyle around, which is gyro play, doesn't exist for Amiibo. That's not an option. So, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, damn it. So, okay, Rob... I think worst in the game really comes down to Jigglypuff or Fox. I've seen some good Foxes. I've never heard of a good Jigglypuff. I was told a couple months ago, oh, so-and-so has a good Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is light. Jigglypuff doesn't kill. Jigglypuff has like 1 multi-hit. That's it. Jigglypuff can land rest, but it's often not enough to kill. I kind of think Jigglypuff's the worst in the game. Fox can kill. Fox can recover. Fox has a handful of multi-hits here and there. Fox can juggle, right? The AI is super screwy, but it's not as screwy as these other low tiers. As the other bottom tiers. The way I would rank D tier right now. Oh, Pichu. We gotta cover Pichu. I see the argument for Pichu being worse in the game. It makes sense as an argument. However, Pichu also does fairly well against some heavies. Pichu has up tilt and up air combos built in. I found that the heavier or larger the opponent, the better Pichu does. So like if you're hosting low tier tournaments where lighter opponents typically show up, then Pichu's not going to do as well. But if you're actually, Pichu has like what, a 30-70 matchup against Bowser, which is pretty damn good. No, I'm sorry, that's not. Somebody's gonna tell, well, it's not true. But no, Pichu does pretty well against Bowser, actually. If you've ever seen it in action, it's got to be a good Pichu, but Pichu does go well against Bowser. Pichu has a shitload of multi-hits and a great recovery. Okay. So, I think Pichu's D tier. This is what I would put for D tier. Put Rob at bottom of D+. Sheik goes wherever the hell Sheik goes. Top to bottom of D tier, I think, would be Fox, if he's going to stay in D tier. Zero Suit Samus. And then Pichu or Jigglypuff. Pichu has the potential to get out of D tier. Jigglypuff does not. Fox has the KO power to get out of D tier. Jigglypuff does not. Zero Suit Samus belongs in D tier. Jigglypuff does as well, right? So that's what I would put. But I do think, to answer my own question, I've spent a couple of days thinking about it, actually. I do think Jigglypuff is, if Sheik in Bouncing Fish is anything not an incredible nerf to her, I do think that Jigglypuff is the worst in the game now. So, in review, I do think Amiibo are getting better. I think we're going to see a lot of bottom tiers become mid tiers. Not necessarily. The thing about the tier list is that it's relative to each other, right? So, a lot of bottom tiers being mid tiers, like now, they may still be in D plus tier. Fair enough. But if we go back like a year or 2 years, really probably a year and a half or so, our bottom tiers today could probably beat the mid tiers from back then. You know what I mean? Like, great patches change things, and AI changes happen, that sort of thing. But in terms of like the quality and skill of the training that we've been doing, they're getting better overall. So I don't think it's unreasonable at some point in the future to severely thin out D plus, and possibly C tier. I think a lot more Amiibo are becoming higher tier. At least mid tier. I think a lot more Amiibo are getting figured out and expanded on. The problem is, this has always been the problem with Amiibo and Ultimate, there's too much information at any given time. And there's only a few of us. So if we suppose that over the next 6 months I get to like 10,000 subscribers or something crazy like that, and like I plug the Discord servers and like 1,000 people join, start competing in Amiibo, and we grow to like 20 times our size, right? We don't have enough information as it is right now, let alone then. So, there's too much information to properly, accurately sort it, but I do think overall Amiibo are getting better. And even though there's no objective way to measure it, I think the utility of the Amiibo is getting better. I think the theta, if you will, is getting better over time. And long story short, what's bottom tier now would have been mid tier back then. And I think that'll keep being true. Like, I would consider the best of our current D tier Amiibo would probably be equivalent to like C plus Amiibo from way back when. You know what I mean? So, all right. That was quite the mouth. Wow, it was an hour. Damn, it was 54 minutes. Okay. Gonna call it good. Thank you for watching, guys. Now I'm going on hiatus. Unless something major comes up, pretty much every video after this for a while is going to have been already recorded. I'll see you in a month.